of it is about the best practices with homicide survivors. So when I'm commenting on these stories, yes, it's about me, but because I'm a trauma survivor, because I'm a trauma psychologist, I'm resilient. I know how to heal from this. My concern is that there are so many families who don't have my level of experience. And yes, it makes me angry, but what it makes me angry about is I refuse to let them do this to other families. I've talked to too many families who say, when they stop responding to me, I just gave up. They've just forgotten my person. I don't even accuse them of forgetting Brittany. But to come back to this story, this was the first story where they were trying to make a statement again that what I was saying was not true. And why it's important to not just listen to the story, but to read the story is to read what Lieutenant Watkins, head of homicide, says.
Yeah, let's find that for a minute.
Their statement, you just came past it.
Damn it. Okay.
Statement from top.
Okay. You know what? Let me just take the wheel here for 1 second, because this pisses me off. I know I read this, but I forgot. It's bullshit. This guy's a liar.
What's really bullshit is if you read the last
holy shit.
Over the years, Dr. Zingman has told us that she has investigators who want to review the case. However, no investigators have ever contacted us about this case that I'm aware of, let alone agreed to our parameters. The reason he put that in is because he knows that the sheriff and they were discussing about the case from 2020 on till 2023, when they said no more in April of 2023. And part of the issue was they were discussing the parameters. And
I remember all this when they were talking about making copies and all this other stuff. Yeah.
He's saying this in really vague terms, but to make a statement like this, that she says she has told us, she's had investigators who want us to do the case. However, none have ever contacted us. But what's really important, and this needs to be said right next to this, because when you go down and read what's from the cold case group, which is Cheryl McCullum, he called her that same day.
Are you shitting me? Now, this I didn't know.
Okay, listen, he called her after that came out on the news. And did he reprint a change? No. He called her that day after the news and said, oh, it's interesting, because she emailed him after she made that statement. And he called her and he said, or he emailed her first and then called her. He said, oh, I just happened to find this email that you were copied on in 2022. Just happened, so I mean, they're caught in misinformation. But I asked them about that. Did they write me? But the other thing I want to put out, because I always need to put it back to the families. If a family is saying, oh, you're doing this or you're not doing this, you don't, like in the Sun case and like here, just sit there and go, it's not true what the homicide survivor says. What you do, even if you deep down feel it's not true what they're saying, what you do as a compassionate, trauma-informed police department is you go, I don't think that's happening, but I'm going to look into it. You don't sit there and flat out deny it. And, the interesting thing is City Council about 2 years ago asked Tulsa police they said one of the weaknesses was that they need trauma-informed care. Well, in their one-on-one, in their, communities, minority communities, in their initial homicide investigations, in their rape investigations, they're trauma-informed. Mm-hmm. They are doing and implementing what was asked. With cold cases, they're not. They sit there and they force me. They tell me I cannot meet with them unless I have their victim advocates in it. If you read recently, there was in Broken Arrow, if people are here in Oklahoma, in Broken Arrow, I think it was, where they made a whole victim interview area, that not just to put them where you put the criminals, but have pillows and stuff,
Right. Right.
which that's all what you're supposed to do, and what they do with current crimes. But with homicide, I'm told it's all families, that to meet with them, I can't bring anybody with me to the meeting, but I have to have their homicide victim advocate in there. She's a very sweet lady, but the one thing, when I train victim advocates, and in my 35 years of practice and even more, the one thing that you want to do is give a victim their power back. And when you give a victim their power back, you do that by allowing them to make choices. So when you start dictating, we're not going to meet with you unless you follow by our rules, that can be very damaging to survivors. To me, no, because you're going to make me fight harder for them.
Right. I was going to say not you, but yeah.